So, our project two was based on the case study on page 69 of the North House Introduction to Leadership book. And the case study was about Christine Jorgens, who was working in an organization called Begin the Future Foundation. She had been there for 12 years. She had started various programs that were successes, interacting with children who either didn't have role models or who needed help with studying. She created these programs that became successes, and during her time there, the board eventually recognized her as someone that they felt would be good for the CEO position that was available. So they offered her the position. Christine was, I don't know if she was feeling self-conscious or insecure, but she wasn't sure that she was fit for the program, for the position. She didn't feel that she had adequate experience or maybe the right qualifications to get that position. So the case study was asking questions about what we felt she had done to earn that position. And so question number one asked, it said that strengths are considered inborn traits that can be enhanced with experience. What experiences in Christine's background helped her to develop her strengths? So we talked about it. Each one of us contributed to this project, this project. And what we came up with is that her upbringing from a small town and then a financially struggling family that was also a large family helped her to be able to relate to the children in the urban poverty areas and the areas that she was familiar with. So those children who had, who lacked something or lacked what other people might have had, they were less advantaged. Those are the children that she interacted with. Those are the children that were participants in her program. And she could understand them. She could relate to them because she had gone through similar life experiences, similar upbringing. It also helped her to develop a work ethic, which gave her the drive to work harder than everyone else. As you know, if you don't have what other people have, if you don't have the advantages that other people have, then you have to work harder to achieve the same things. And so that's one of the things that she learned to do. That's one of the things that she did in her time there at Begin the Future Foundation. She started from the bottom and worked her way up. And our extensive work with the after-school programs also required her to be organized, which is definitely a strength in this for this position, because you have to be organized for the company to run correctly and be successful. There has to be organization. The question number two said, of the strengths identified by the assessment, which were directly observable in Christine's work, were there any that were not? We decided that relationship building, compassion, and influencing were all observable in Christine's work. They're directly observable because the programs that she created were programs based on relationship. They were programs that included participants, which would be the children or the girls and boys, and then the volunteers who would be interacting with those children to achieve something, whether it was the Girl Power program that paired women in leadership roles or in corporate or in positions where these girls who were participating wanted to be. Those created relationships between those people to help those girls get to the position that they desired or the industry that they wanted to work in. It gave them role models to look up to. And then the Study Buddy program, of course, that helped the volunteers to, create relationships with the students who needed help and needed tutoring. And strategic planning, of course, and creativity were needed, because you need creativity to think of new, out of the box ways to help your community or your constituents. Which is what Christine did when she created these programs that weren't existing before, that took creativity and also strategic planning for them to be able to be effective and actually work the way that they were supposed to work and be successful. Also influencing, because of how she was able to make those programs successes with the people that were involved, more so the volunteers that were helping her to make those things successful. The third question was that Christine admitted having some weaknesses, especially in day-to-day management of the organization. Which of her strengths could she put into use to help her deal with that, and how? So the answer that we came up with is that Christine could use her strengths in relationship building, compassion, and influencing. When dealing with the day-to-day management, Christine would be able to manage people, and she could use her strengths to be able to be successful. If she spent time building relationships with her team, she could relate to them and understand their needs. She could also build relationships with people who have successful experiences as CEOs, and use her strategic planning and developing processes that would improve the organization. All of those strengths that she has would be able to improve her day-to-day management skills. All of those would be directly related to her success in day-to-day management. And then the fourth and final question was, what strengths should Christine seek from others that will help complement her own in some ways to fill the gaps? And the strengths that we came up with is that Christine should seek to find strengths from someone who is experienced in overseeing a nonprofit organization, someone who has experience with day-to-day management of organizations, and these would include vision casting and execution, as well as a sense of public need. That was a long, drawn-out video to say that Christine had a lot of experience and strengths that were built on her, even personal experiences, not even related to her work at Begin the Future Foundation, but that the things that she could do to help build her weaknesses are utilize her strengths to create relationships with people who have done it before, and that she would be successful by building those relationships. She'd be able to find out things that maybe she's not strong in now, but that would develop her into a great CEO and a great leader.